Thank you so much for coming to Flight Sim Expo Orlando. I am so honored to be here, and what an amazing display is going on outside on the showroom floor. Evan deserves a lot of credit for putting all this together, and his buddy Phil, and I really wish them the best of success as this new convention grows and develops and matures into the industry that we know it can be. I'm very happy to be here to talk to you about some stuff that goes on in the real world and in simulators. The FAA's WINGS program. How many flight instructors are in the audience today? Show of hands. Yep, okay. For many of you who are becoming pilots, many of you will, depending on where your career aspirations take you, may wind up in the right seat as an instructor. I want to reach out to you guys who are working on pilot certificates. How many people are working on a pilot certificate? Yeah, see a lot more hands go up when you do that. Orlando is the biggest flight training district in the world. We produce 16,000 airman certification packages going out to big FAA every year. That's more than the next 5 districts combined. We do a lot of it here, and that's not the Bob Jex's. That's the flight training schools that are in our district, and some of the biggest ones are headquartered right here in Central Florida. Today I want to talk to you about a program you may have heard about, but may not have done much with it, if anything, and I want to help bring it to your attention that there's some really cool things that this program offers, and the fact that you can win some real live money out of this program now, thanks to some really nice benefactors who are monetizing the WINGS program. I want to help you guys get success in this program that is very, very important to me, and I want to show you some stuff that you may not have known about the WINGS program. When was the last time you got jewelry from the FAA? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can get free bling from the FAA. That's pretty cool. I hand out some of that jewelry at the Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award, but you got to be in aviation a lot longer to get that jewelry. But I'm going to tell you about stuff you can earn today, right now. All right. What are we going to talk about? Just a quick review of the WINGS program. For those of you not familiar with the program at all, this will be very valuable to you. If you already have some familiarity with the WINGS program, this will go pretty fast for you. Pay attention because it gets better. Because I'm going to show the flight instructors in the audience how to up your game. And if you're a student working with a flight instructor, you might want to turn your instructor on to some of the stuff I'm about to show you. And then we're going to talk about these things called credit packages, which are bundles of WINGS credit in a single shot. And that is the way to go. My presentation is relatively new. I've only given it within the last 3 weeks. Only given it, like, this is my 3rd time presenting it in the last 3 weeks. And it is generating a buzz throughout the FAA and the flight training industry. And I hope it gets a lot of mileage here too. I understand we're being live streamed, we're being recorded, and I say, good, let's get the word out. Let's get people aware of some of these great programs that are within the WINGS program. My references are available to everybody. This is the foot stomper, www.FAASTeam.gov. And by the way, if you signed up for WINGS credit today, you would have signed up using your email. I will email these slides to all those people who registered for WINGS credit today. Fair enough? I'll do that later on today when I get back to the office. So by all means, and we also have left a copy of these slides with the organizers of the convention. So those of you in the recorded audience and in the live streaming audience, if you want to obtain the presentation after this live presentation is over with, contact the organizers of the Flight Sim Expo and ask for a copy of Bob Jex's WINGS slides. And I hope that you will be much enlightened by what I have to cover today. Okay, www.FAASTeam.gov. In the military, we used to stomp our foot real hard when we were giving material that was going to be on the test. This is a foot stomper. You'll see this come up again and again and again. www.FAASTeam.gov. Not to be confused with www.FAA.gov. That's another FAA website, much different one. FAASTeam.gov is where the WINGS program is managed. An advisory circular, 6191 Juliet, which describes the WINGS program. The advisory circular 6165 Hotel, which I'll make a couple of references to in my presentation. In the regulations, does anybody remember what 6156 covers? The flight review. That's the regulation that covers the flight review, and 6156 Echo covers the Pilot Proficiency Award Program, or the WINGS program. And finally, when we get into talking about the money side of this really cool program, this mywingsinitiative.org program, which you can link to from FAASTeam.gov. All right, a brief review of the WINGS program itself. It is a lifelong program for pilot proficiency, some of which can be done in simulators. I hope I can advance the slides from down here because I like to be closer to the audience. It's a lifelong program for general aviation proficiency. There are several phases, several levels of wings that you can endeavor at. We'll go through that in just a moment. A phase of wings, any completed phase, whether it's basic wings phase 1 all the way up through master's wings phase 1,000,000 and anything in between. Any completed phase counts as a flight review. And that's what it says in 6156. The WINGS program is structured as an accident prevention program that we do through pilot proficiency. It addresses the most common causes of general aviation accidents. It don't cost nothing to participate. It's free to participate. You can even participate if you've been involved in an accident. There are 3 levels of wings, which I'll show you in just a moment. There are an infinite number of phases for each level. I mention these terms because you have to know the terminology in order to speak the language of the WINGS program. There's 3 levels: basic, advanced, and masters. There are an infinite number of phases from 1 to 1,000,000. And the world record holder of WINGS phases actually lives in the Orlando district. He works over at Simcom. His name is John Rockcastle. Everybody calls him Rockcastle. The guy's in his 80s and he does simulator training all day long under Part 142 and is earning WINGS credits out the wazoo. It's wonderful. There are knowledge credits that you build and flight credits that you build into a phase. Think of these knowledge credits and these flight credits as bricks, and you're building a house. The completed phase is the house. The knowledge credits and the flight credits are the bricks that go into building the house. That's one way to look at it. Everything in the WINGS program is tracked online through, what was that website again? www.FAASTeam.gov. That's where it's all tracked online. As a FAASTeam Program Manager, I can go in and monitor a person's progress. I can see if they've completed a course, and I can check on that very, very quickly. I can't help you with any of the answers, though, on the quizzes. That's all on your own. Okay. You can be working at multiple levels of wings. You can be endeavoring at the basic and the masters and the advanced levels, all 3. You can endeavor on all 3 levels at once. There was a predecessor to the program that we now have. It's called the Legacy WINGS program. And under that program, you couldn't. You could only work on 1 phase at a time. And there were only 20 phases in the program. Now there's an infinite number of phases, and you can work at all 3 levels at the same time. There is no timeout requirement to start the next phase. Under the old Legacy WINGS program, you had to wait 1 year from the accomplishment of 1 phase till you could turn in your paperwork to show the accomplishment of the next phase. You had to wait a year. So the whole WINGS program back then was only a 20-year program. This one will go until, dare I say it, it'll go till the second coming of Christ. It'll go for a long time, a lot longer than 20 years. I hope we have more than 20 years. Why should somebody participate in the WINGS program? The motivation should come from within. A completed phase is equal to a flight review. You can accomplish a phase of wings in aircraft you're not even rated in. I'm working on my glider rating right now. I'm not rated in gliders. I've soloed them. I've flown with my instructor many times, and I've gone up, and guess what I do? Every time I fly in the glider with my instructor, we do a wings flight tailored for the glider. I come back, he says, "You done good, Bob, and I'm going to sign you off for wings flight number 1, wings flight number 3, and I've already got number 2 done. I've just earned a phase of wings, plus all the knowledge credits that I have. I've just earned a phase of wings in a glider. That means, folks, I can get a flight review in an aircraft I'm not even rated for because of the way the program is structured. How cool is that? This could encourage somebody to train in new categories or classes of aircraft. The glider's a whole new category for me, and I'm getting flight reviews in the glider. I maintain my proficiency other ways, but every time, I just said, every time you earn a phase of wings, you've got a flight review knocked out. Whether you're rated in that aircraft or not, you can fly it to practical test standards. We think that there is a good correlation, I should say inverse correlation. The people that participate in the Wings program, there's many of them, and most of those people don't seem to be involved in accidents. The rate of accidents amongst Wings program participants is very, very low. Now, is that because of what they're learning in the Wings program, or is that because of the way they have their mind into the game of learning? I can't prove it one way or the other, but there does seem to be this really strong inverse correlation between participation in the Wings program and being involved in accidents and incidents, and that's a good thing. Bodes well for the program itself. There may be insurance discounts for participating in the Wings program. If you own an aircraft, talk that over with the person who provides your hull insurance and ask them, am I able to get a discount on my insurance by participating in Wings? And they may say, yes, you can, and then you just show them your record. I can show you later, it's a little beyond the scope of what I want to talk about today, but I can show you how to provide your Wings record to an insurance agent or a third party. Incidental learning. In the world of the flight instructor, incidental learning means you go into a task to learn A and B. And while you're learning A and B, you also learn C, D, and E by coincidence. That's what incidental learning is, and a lot of it happens when you're doing the Wings program. You get exposed to things that you didn't actually set out to learn, but now you're learning them anyway, and that's part of the nature of proficiency. The Wings program is ideally suited for flight schools. Most instructors, but not all of them, most of them work at flight schools, at least in this district. Some are freelance. But for people that are working on earning certificates and ratings, they're flying with an instructor, the Wings program is ideally tailored to the learning environment. Absolutely, they go hand in glove. And you can earn free jewelry. I'm going to return to the stage here and show you what the jewelry looks like physically that you can actually earn. I wear the FAA Bling on my lanyard. If you're operating the camera, by all means, get a close-up of this, maybe even after the show. What I have here on my lanyard, where I wear my ID, we call it the janitor's badge, is on my left, your right, is the basic Wings pin. Next to it is the advanced Wings pin, and over here on my right, your left, is the Master's Wings pin. So when I wear them like this, the lowest one is at the bottom and the highest one is up at the top. If you'd like, there's a small number of people in the audience. I'm going to pass this around so you can actually see what these pins look like and hold them for yourself. I don't wear these to show off. I wear these to start a conversation. The conversation starts out like this. Bob, what's that bling you're wearing on your lanyard? And I'll say, well, those are basic and master and advanced wings. Phase is one, and all the way up to the phase that I have. And you can earn them too. I want people to know what they look like, and I want people to earn them. And they don't cost anything when you order them. They're free. The basic wings pins that you're seeing there are produced by Avemco and funded by Avemco. The C-Wings, which I don't have there on my lanyard, are funded by the Seaplane Pilots Association. So I want to give a shout out to both Avemco and the Seaplane Pilots Association for funding the production of these wings pins and incentivizing pilot proficiency and safety in the National Airspace System. Thank you, guys. All right, the three levels again are basic, advanced, and master. That's what they look like. If you haven't seen them coming around to your chair yet, that's what they're going to look like when you pull them up. You'll notice, if you study these things, that there is, right there at the bottom of the copper one, it says basic. At the bottom of the silver one, it says advanced. And at the bottom of the gold one, it says master. And they're cast into, I think they're bronze pins. But anyway, they're real live pins that you can earn. All right, you must earn knowledge credits. You must earn flight credits. The knowledge credits, you have to complete the knowledge topics assigned, but you don't have to go with the ones that are assigned to you. You can pick them out on your own. I can show you how to do that. There's typically 2 or 3 knowledge credits per phase. You can do the same courses over and over and over again, but you can only use them once per phase. Online courses, seminars like this one, and webinars, and credit packages all offer knowledge credits. So those of you who signed up on the sign-in sheet over there, as long as I can read your email, and as long as you have an account with FAASTeam.gov, I'm going to go in and handpick those email addresses, and I'm going to upload Basic Knowledge Topic 3 knowledge credit for you later on this afternoon. Then you move on to the flight credits. You can be working on knowledge and flight credits at the same time, but the flight credits usually come later. They are flight topics that are organized by aircraft category and class. Airplane single-engine land, glider, airplane multi-engine land, airplane multi-engine sea, balloon. They have lighter-than-air stuff in the Wings program. Just about every category of aircraft is represented in the Wings program. There is one that is not represented in the Wings program. Anyone take a guess? UAS. Unmanned aircraft system are not yet integrated into the Wings program, but that's okay. UAS pilots, the drone pilots, don't need a flight review. They have to do an academic review online with a knowledge course within the previous 24 calendar months. That's the UAS equivalent of a flight review. But we don't have Wings integrated into the program yet for the drone community. I think that will happen someday soon, but we're not quite there yet in June of 2019. There's typically 3 flight topics per phase, and the flight training topics can take place in an actual aircraft or, yay, a sim. You can do approved flights in a sim. The computer picks the programs for you, picks the lessons for you based on the way you set up your profile when you set up your account. But just like a lottery ticket, when you go to buy that lotto ticket, when the jackpot's up to, 7, 8, 9 figures, and you say, well, now I'm going to play the lotto because now the jackpot's worth $900 million. Yeah, I'm going to play the lotto too. You know I'll be competing. You go in there and you can plunk down $10 on the counter and say, let the computer pick. And the computer will spit out, 5 lines of, 6 digits or 6 numbers, and that'll be your lotto ticket for the next drawing. What's the other thing you can do? You can walk over to that little desk, pull out the number 2 pencil and fill out the little circles with the number 2 pencil and pick your own numbers. You can play your wife's birthday. You can play your dog's weight. You can play your car's VIN number if you want to, as lotto numbers. It's kind of like that in the Wings program. If you don't like what the computer assigned you, you can pick your own courses. And it's very, very easy to do that. And it works that way at any level of Wings. Okay. What about the credits that you earn? What about those bricks that we're earning to build that house? The bricks themselves, by themselves, are valid for 12 calendar months. The BK3 credit that you earn today, Basic Knowledge Topic 3 credits that you earn today, June 9th, 2019, will expire on June 30th, 2020 at midnight, 12 calendar months. That means if you're starting a phase of Wings, thank you. Everybody get a chance to see this, the Bling? Okay, I'll take it back, thank you. That's all right. The Wings credit that you're earning today on June 9th is going to expire on June 30th, 2020. If you have started a Wings phase today, you have until June 30th next year to finish it. Otherwise, the credit that you earned today will expire. The BK3 credit, Basic Knowledge Topic 3 credit that you earned today, will expire. You won't be able to use it for Wings phases. You'll have to replace it with another BK3 credit that is newer. Does it make some sense? You don't lose the newer credits that you earned after today. So don't worry, it's not like everything goes away. Only the oldest credits go away one by one as they time out at 12 calendar months. Okay. You can track the credits as they age online. At the bottom of your My Wings display page, you can see them start on the right side in the green zone, and as they get older, they track left into the red zone until they're at 12 calendar months. And at midnight on the last day of the month, they disappear off the left side of the screen. It'll make more sense if I had a live screenshot for you. The good news is that the Wings program uses the oldest credits that are valid first. Thank you very much. Meaning, if you earn another BK3 credit, by going to another one of my seminars, thank you very much for coming to one of my other seminars, or you do a course online, if you earn credits after today, the Wings program will use these ones first, right? Because they're the oldest ones. Perhaps for many of you, they may be the oldest ones. The Wings program uses the oldest credits first that are available to be used, and then it replaces them with the newer ones that come along later. All right, and as we said before, this will be on the quiz, a completed phase equals a flight review. Bob, what about an instrument proficiency check? Can I use Wings to get an IPC? No. But you can use an IPC to get Wings credit and therefore a flight review. I'm going to show you this later on as I develop the concept of credit packages. All right. What does it take to complete a phase? All of the knowledge credits plus all of the flight credits. And it works that way for any phase of the Wings program, whether you're working on your very first phase, Basic Wings Phase 1, or you're an old salt and you're working on Master Wings Phase 1,000,000. For any phase, it works this exact way. You need all your knowledge credits, you need all your flight credits, put them all together, it equals one phase. And it renews your flight review. And it's all tracked online. Okay. For flight instructors listening in the audience, whether you're on the live stream audience or you're in the live audience or you're watching the recorded version, I recommend that when you do a Wings phase, yes, it's tracked online, but do your students a service and write an endorsement in their logbook and yours, by the way. Remember, you have to track endorsements too under 61-189. When your student gets a Wings phase completed, give them endorsement A66. Bob, what are you talking about? What's A66? A66 comes from that advisory circular that flight instructors should know about called AC 6165 Hotel. I mentioned it in the references at the beginning of the presentation. It's in Appendix 1, endorsement number A.66. What does endorsement A66 look like? I certify that my student, Joey Peppersqueal, private pilot certificate, blah, 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 satisfactorily completed Basic Wings Phase 2 on May 17, 2019. That's what endorsement A66 looks like. I'll save you the time of having to look for this in the advisory circular. That's the gist of what it should say. And as I mentioned at the bottom there in the fine print, don't forget to log this in your records. Why? Because you're giving your student pilot and command privileges. By virtue of giving them a flight review, you're giving them PIC privileges. Log this stuff in your logbook too, your flight instructor records. Okay. This is what it looks like on the FAA's home page. This is the FAASTeam.gov, the page that we call the home page. And where you log in is right over here. What I have are a series of screenshots for this presentation that represent my login. I'm Bob Jex. That's my login, robert.jex@FAA.gov. You don't have to write that down. That's in my slides at the very end of the presentation. So this is what it looks like when I log into my FAA account. There's a couple of things. The Wings program is managed here, and for those of you who can't see it in the viewing audience, this square, I call it a tile. This tile is where the Wings program is managed. Also, along the top of the screen, you'll see a series of words in a blue banner called, starts with activities, courses, seminars, and webinars. You go far enough across that blue banner and you'll see the word pilots. And when you hover your cursor over the word pilots, a drop-down menu appears, and one of the selections on that drop-down menu is My Wings. That My Wings is the exact same as that My Wings. A good software designer sets up multiple pathways to the same outcome, and sure enough, you see that in the Wings program as well. It's a busy website. Admittedly, it's a very busy website. It does not flow intuitively. You have to study it. But I will tell you, folks, the Wings website, FAASTeam.gov, is a very, very powerful website. There's amazing stuff on this website. There's a thing there for instructors, instructor portal. that flight instructors can get involved in, and it's the next tile over. There's tremendous resources available to flight instructors and people working on things. You don't have to be an instructor to use this. It's just a section that's designed for instructors, and you click on that hyperlink right there, and it takes you into the instructor portal. I'm not getting into the instructor portal today. That's way beyond the scope of what I want to talk to you guys about. But you can do multiple things. You can get to the same point multiple ways. This display will show you that I have earned Basic Wings Phase 11 as of the date of this screenshot. I have earned Advanced Wings Phase 10 and Master Wings Phase 8. If I wanted to print a certificate showing the accomplishment there, I could print a wall frameable certificate on my own provided paper. I can also print a wallet-sized certificate that I can throw into my flight logbook and prove to Mr. FAA inspector that I have a flight review within the last 24 calendar months. Not bad. You can print up your own certificates, and that's a way to do it. Okay. You can go to the home page. Before I get off of that, you'll notice up along the top right corner, there's the word home. That word home appears on just about every page of this website. And just like some of the avionics that you work with, if you click where it says home, and I'm going to do this, I can't reach that high, folks, but you can see me hovering my laser around the word home. If you click on the word home, it'll always take you back to this page, the home page. All right, that's one nice little trick to know about navigating this very, very busy website. Okay. I'm not going to do a live website navigation demo, but these are the skills that I would like instructors to know about. And quite honestly, I want the public to know about it, but it takes a while to navigate these things and to teach it one-on-one. What I want to get into is, let's say you're working on a phase of wings and you've done a flight and you want to request credit for the flight. If you do the knowledge credits through the online courses and the seminars, you know, the people that run the live seminars and the people that run the courses automatically credit you with your credit. Where I find a lot of disconnect is when people don't know how to request credit for the flights that they do. Glad you asked. And so we put it into this presentation. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on requesting and getting flight credits. I had my good colleague Rich Function work with me on this, and we did a series of screenshots. You'll see on these particular flights, they represent glider flights. On this particular thing, I've taken a small portion of my Wings page and looked at the, I'm working on, what am I working on? Basic? I think I'm working on Basic right there. And the G, see where it says for flight topic number 1 credit, flight, and then there's a number, an incomprehensible number, and then right next to it the title, G, takeoffs, launches, and landings. What do you think the G stands for? Glider. Remember I told you I'm working on my glider rating? And when I fly with my instructor, I do glider flights in the glider, and there are glider flights in the flight course catalog online. This is how I'm working on my flight review. I'm going to go up and fly this lesson, and I'm going to fly it to practical test standards. And the instructor's going to be really impressed with how I fly, I hope. At least I hope that he'll say you met minimum standards for that task. That's the least I want to hear. And of course, I hope we get a good debrief out of it too, because that's what a good instructor does, because that's where most learning takes place, is in the debrief after the flight. But when we're all done with that, I'm going to request credit. See where it says over there near the right side of that thing, when complete, request credit? I'm going to move my mouse over that thing when I do this flight, and I'm going to click right there where it says when complete, request credit. See where it also says out to the end, find alternate activities? Suppose I wasn't really excited about gliders, and instead I was more interested in airplane single engine C. All right. We click on that find alternate activities up to the point where you can, up to the point where you've earned credit for that particular flight. You can always go find an alternate activity. This is the equivalent of that lotto scenario that I gave you just a few minutes ago. This is the equivalent of filling in the little bubble circle with the numbers you want. You can pick the courses that you want based on your preferences. And you'll see, so flight topic number 1 is takeoffs, launches, and landings. Glider flight topic number 3 happens to be air work at the private and commercial levels. What's the highest level you can go in a glider, by the way? Trivia question. Private, right? Sport, yep. Can you go to commercial? Oh yeah. Can you go to ATP? Nope. There's no such thing as ATP in gliders. The highest it goes is commercial, and if you want to be a glider instructor, you got to be either a sport glider pilot and instruct at the sport level or a commercial pilot. Okay. So this is what we're going to work on in the demonstration. I'm going to request credit for these knowledge topics, and I'm going to demonstrate one. It works the same way for all of them. By the way, that green bar, see there in the middle one? That was flight topic number 2. It was an instrument proficiency check. I completed an instrument proficiency check, and I can get a flight review knocked out by virtue of a WINGS program. I completed an IPC, and my flight topic number 2 was completed. That's what the green bar means. I have credit for that topic. I can't change it now, right? See where it says find alternate activities on lines 1 and 3? That goes away once you earn the credit. What we're going to talk about next is earning the credits that you've just deserved. Okay. All you got to do, when you click on that one that says when complete request credit that we had circled in red, this is the screen that comes up. This is a worksheet, if you will. It's an online worksheet. You fill it out, date completed, you select a validator. There's several ways to select a validator. One way is recent validators, perhaps the instructor you've been using, each day. That would be a recent evaluator. Email, if you know your instructor's email address, you can find him that way. Find a validator where you define a zip code and a radius. I want to know a 5-mile circle around zip code 32822. That's my zip code. Or the zip code of your airport. I want to know all the instructors living within maybe a 20-mile radius, and I'll find my validator that way, possibly. Or if I just know his name. If I just know his name. That's the way this thing is set up. Again, good software design, you have multiple pathways to the same outcome. In this case, you may not know the guy's name, but you may know his email. I hope you know his name. Okay. So I showed the screen where I selected to find a validator based on their name. Last name, first name. Question, does the instructor have to have an account in the WINGS program in order to validate credit in the WINGS program? Yes, they do. The instructor has to have an account. How much does it cost you to get a WINGS account? Nothing, right? How much does it cost an instructor to get a WINGS account? Double nothing. He does not have to pay any money. Flight instructors love 2 things. Free online stuff, free food. If you're ever holding a seminar with flight instructors in attendance, feed them, and many will come. I are a flight instructor myself. I love free food. Okay. Now, when you have filled out that worksheet and you submitted it for validation, it's not that hard, it's pretty intuitive. What happens next is your flight instructor, because of his account, he will get an email sent to him at the account that he's registered under. He gets an email, and when he logs into www.FAASTeam.gov, this is what he sees. This is what I would see if I were a flight instructor. Validating account. I had to use my own screen to put these slides together. A little red flag, the one up there where the word logout is, that red flag sweeps across the display and gets your attention. And the same flag is repeated down here, pending validation request. It's time for me to move my cursor up to where it says pending validation request. I'm in the role of flight instructor now, and I click on that, and here's what I'm going to see. I get a worksheet that comes up too. See that little red circle that just popped up? That's circling the approval or the validation icon. That is a blank piece of paper with a green check mark or a red X. I'm either going to approve it or disapprove it. That's what I'm being asked to do as the flight instructor, is to either approve or not approve the requested credit that now appears before me. The screenshot is saying, okay, Mr. Instructor, you're being asked to validate for your student Joey Peppersqueal glider flight, takeoffs, launches, landings, downwind landings. It says ATP. That's not valid at the glider level. I don't know how that wound up in there. Commercial and private. That's the flight that I'm being asked to validate as the validator. And this is what the student would get. He would get one credit for Basic Flight Topic 1 and 1 credit for Master Flight Topic 1. I didn't explain what the difference was between the 3 levels, Basic, Advanced, and Master. Basic would correspond to the private pilot level, private pilot skill level. Advanced would correspond to the commercial pilot skill level, and what do you think Master would correspond to? ATP. You can be a private pilot and earn Master Wings. There's no issue there. You don't have to be an ATP to earn Master Wings, but you must have earned Basic and Advanced in order to earn Master. Don't go straight to Master. You got to build your way up with Basic and Advanced. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, as the instructor, as the validator, I would click on that little icon that's circled in red. That's the accept or reject icon, and a new worksheet is going to pop up. Here it is. I have to answer a couple of questions, yes or no. The computer is reminding me that I am getting ready to validate for my student, Joey Peppersqueal, Basic Flight Topic 1 and Master Flight Topic 1 by validating just this 1 credit request. I answer yes or no, did I personally conduct this training? As a FAASTeam Program Manager, I often answer no to this question. If I was an instructor, I would probably be answering yes to this question. The student and instructor can be working at their level. You don't have to elevate this to the FAA FAASTeam level. This can all be done in the field between student and instructor. Yes or no, I personally conducted this training. And then accept or reject the requested credit action. I will either accept it or reject it. When you click these radio buttons, these are called radio buttons. When you click these buttons, especially when you get down to here in the form, if you're the validator, wait a couple potatoes. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato. Wait a couple potatoes. The screen will sort of consider your input. It will flicker and then come back to this thing. Then, after it flickers, now you're ready to hit the submit button. And when you hit the submit button, your student will get the credit as an email, and it posts automatically to his account. If you reject a credit request, then it will ask you for an explanation. Why did this process go through only to meet with rejection? Sometimes I'll put in, hey, it's just for training purposes. Wings has a training website that the public doesn't know about it. The validator is usually going to be the person who conducted the training. That's the preferred way of validating credits. As a FAASTeam Program Manager, I can validate the same request, but I would answer no, and I would ask for some sort of basis, some sort of proof from the person requesting credit. The validator can be another CFI, it can be a DPE, it can be a FAASTeam Program Manager or a qualified rep. All those people can validate credits. Usually it's going to be the CFI that did the actual training. That's the way it's supposed to work. If you are not the person that did the actual training and you're one of these other people, ask for proof. Ask Joey Peppersqueal for proof that he did what he said he's claiming credit for. Logbook entry, temporary airman certificate, something that proves that he did what he's claiming that he did. That's a legitimate question to ask, and quite honestly, it shows good professionalism on your part as a potential validator that you're asking for evidence. This is what the form looks like just before it's submitted if the person that did the training is the one doing the validation for Wings credit. This instructor is about to click on the submit button at the bottom of the worksheet. That's all that's left. Boom. And the red flag will clear off of that instructor's home page. All right, you're a flight instructor, or you're trying to sell your flight instructor on the Wings program. Why should your instructor, or why should you, if you are a flight instructor, why should they do the Wings program? This is really important. This is a foot stomper. As a flight instructor doing Wings credit validations, you're not responsible for a complete flight review. You're only responsible for the topics covered in an individual Wings flight. What does a basic flight review consist of? 1 hour of ground, 1 hour of flight, right? And when you sign a student off for a flight review, you're signing off that you covered everything that they're supposed to know. Practically, that's what your signature means, that they have been exposed to everything they're supposed to know, or at least a good sample of everything, and now they're good to go for another 24 calendar months. If you do it through the Wings program, you're not on the hook for as much, because your student may do all the knowledge credits on his own. on his own. And he does the flights with you, the instructor. He may not even do all of the flights. He may only do 1 or 2 of them with a given instructor, as long as he gets all the flight credits necessary. This can help spread the liability out tremendously. Flight instructors sometimes get sued. This is a great way of deflecting liability, and it can't be overemphasized. When I give that message to professional flight instructors, they start stroking their chin and they go, dang, that wings program. I really am glad that Bob said this, because I want to limit my liability exposure. I want to limit my professional liability chances. So that's a very important thing to point out to flight instructors as a way of protecting themselves professionally. You can renew your CFI certificate via the WINGS program. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because there aren't that many instructors in the audience, but you students who are working in the WINGS program or thinking about it, tell your instructor that you can renew your WINGS or your CFI certificate through the WINGS program. That's how you do it. It's a little down in the weeds for a basic audience. And WINGS program adds to your professionalism and sets a positive example. You know what? If you're working on wings and your flight instructor isn't, you set the example for your flight instructor. The turnover in the flight instructor industry is so high, and I have deep respect for all flight instructors, but man, they're coming and going so fast. They don't have time to work on things like the WINGS program. So if you're working on it, show them what you need to do and help them learn it. And if they don't want to learn it, turn them on to a FAASTeam rep or turn them on to the FAASTeam Program Manager at the local FSDO. I love teaching people about the WINGS program. I'll make any instructor smart on this stuff. Again, that's what the Bling looks like. It's nice stuff to have. You can earn the Bling for Phase 1 at any level. You don't get one of these pins when you earn Phase 2, 3, and 4 at that level. Sorry, folks. When you get the one you get in the mail, right, when you get that basic WINGS pin, take good care of it. Take good care of it, because they're not going to mail you another one. It's good for Phase 1. The claim form is on the FAASTeam.gov website. As I mentioned earlier, Avemco paid for the standard wings, and the Seaplane Pilots Association pays for the sea wings. I will soon have a full set of sea wings. They are free when they are earned. The Seaplane Pilots Association charges, I guess Avemco too, probably, they charge a fee to replace the wings if you lose them. All right, we're back on the home page. There's the My Wings thing that's there on the home page. Remember, that My Wings is the same as the one you pull down from the word pilots along the top blue banner. Any questions on how to request flight credits? Pretty easy. And once that flight credit is granted, how long is it good for? If you earn a flight credit today, June 9th, how long is it good until? Midnight, June 30th, the next year. After that, it expires, and you would have to replace it with another equivalent flight credit. Okay. This is how you get your wings bling if you're interested in doing that, and I sure am. Right over there on the home, where you're on the My Wings page, you click on where in yellow letters where it says Claim Reward, and it'll take you to a worksheet. This is what the worksheet starts out as. You can either click on wings or sea wings, and you're probably going to click on wings unless you're endeavoring in seaplanes, and click the send button at the bottom of the screen. It'll take you to the worksheet, and you're off and running. Just basically your name and address, and they check to see if you've earned a particular phase of the wings, and they'll mail you what you haven't earned. All right. Did I mention earlier that you can get real money for participating in the WINGS program? Do I have your attention now? You can earn real money for participating in the WINGS program. There's a new organization out there called the Wings Industry Advisory Committee, and it is monetized. This is where their website is. It's mywingsinitiative.org. mywingsinitiative.org. You don't have to photograph this if you're photographing it. I am going to make the slides available to you after today. All right, earn real live money. It's a national sweepstakes available to all flight instructors and people who earn, whether they earn a phase for themselves or they grant a phase to their students. This is what we hope will get flight instructors participating in the WINGS program and setting the example for their students. Last year was the first year of the sweepstakes. There were 9 winners nationally. 9 people won $1,500 checks. You heard that right, $1,500 checks. When I was a flight instructor, to me that was a lot of money. I'm an inspector today, that's still a lot of money. There were 9 winners announced nationally. 3 of them came from the Orlando district right here, and I know them all. They're good people, working very diligently in the Wings program, and they very much earned what they got when they got those checks. Pretty cool stuff. $1,500. To sustain it, they have different levels. You have to manually enter each time you complete a phase. It's not automatic. But here's what the purse looks like for this year. And it's funded, I think, for 10 years under the Wings Industry Advisory Committee. A gentleman named Paul Berger is Mr. Moneybags on this, and I can't thank him enough. There will be 4 $1,500 prizes given out this year. There will be 4 $750 prizes and 2 $500 prizes. Not bad. That's real money. Even if I want a $500 check, that's pretty cool. It takes me a long time to earn that much money. How do you do it? You go back to the home page. We've seen this home page again. This second tile, again, I call these little squares of information, I call them tiles. This second tile along the top row sweeps to a different presentation every couple of seconds, about every 10 seconds. And when it comes to this display right here, stop, click on it, and click where it says $10,000 Flight Training Challenge Sweepstakes. When that page comes up, just click on that, and it'll take you to the website, the Wings Industry Advisory Committee website. It links to a new website. This is it. That's what their home page looks like. And then you just fill out this form, this online form, and submit it. And boom, now you're registered in their sweepstakes. You register once each time you complete a phase. This is for flight instructors. So if you're working with a flight instructor who doesn't know about this, you Wings participants, tell your flight instructors, hey, Mr. Instructor, Mrs. Instructor, you can earn some real live money. And this is the worksheet where you do it. And at the bottom, you click the submit button. You do this for each phase, each time. All right, now I want to talk about credit packages because this is actually relevant to everybody in this room. These are pre-approved. This is not new, by the way. These are pre-approved groups of Wings credits, knowledge, flight, together in a single bundle. They're cheaper by the dozen. It's really cool, and I did say earlier that the Wings program is ideally suited for the flight training environment. This is a great way to push the Wings program is through these credit packages. They're already there in the catalog. We just need to know how to find them, and I'm going to show you through a series of screenshots how to find credit packages. We're going to use the scenario of private pilot, which for many people is their first rating. They correlate to practical tests, these Wings packages, and they can be awarded after the practical test is passed, either by the DPE or the flight instructor who recommended the student, or some other flight instructor who can validate Wings credit. You can piggyback on your buddy's accomplishments and sign up for the sweepstakes using the work that he did. Not bad. I mean, you can do it. There's some ethics questions there, but you can do it. All right. It's compatible with the CFI renewal via the Wings program as well. All right. All the credit packages are cataloged in FAASTeam.gov. Remember that foot stomper, that key website? It's all there. Let's take a look a little closer at credit packages. We're going to do the example of private pilot credit package. It's worth a complete phase, all the knowledge credits and all the flight credits of basic Wings, all in one shot. How cool is that? You don't have to put 6 bricks together to build a house. You can have the whole mobile home dropped on your lot. It's all prefabbed. This is really cool. I'm going to show you how to find the private pilot syllabus or any other syllabus for credit package that's out there. All right. What we do is we go back to the home page. Let me back the screen up just a second. Okay, I'm going too far. I'm going to go advance. On the home page, along that blue banner along the top that I've been talking about, you'll see the words activities, courses, seminars, and webinars. All right? Move your cursor in this area and move your cursor under the word activities. And for you folks in the webinar audience, I can't reach up that high, but along the blue banner at the top, the word activities and the drop-down menu, click on activities, and then you see activities come up. there's a worksheet that helps you filter the activities. There's so many of them in the catalog. What you need to be able to do is set filters so that you don't see everything. You don't want to look at everything. You just want to look at the private pilot stuff. So I go on the activities worksheet and I put in the keyword private. That's all I got to do. Down below, I'm going to select wings right there. Initially, nothing is selected here, so I'm going to click on wings. And when you click on wings, you have to address the question of, well, what level? Basic, advanced, or master? There's a lot of stuff in the catalog. For simplicity, we're clicking on basic, and you don't have to set any other filter. Those filters are set for a basic search on the private pilot level. What we're looking for is a credit package representing the attainment of private pilot. So now our filters are set. We're ready to perform a search. We click on that button at the bottom there where it says Perform Search, and we find that there are actually two results. Two credit packages are returned in the search. Here's what the first result is. The first result says Initial Certification Private Pilot. I know you may have trouble reading at the back of the room, but right there is a little hyperlink that says Initial Certification Private Pilot. This is the first result that's returned, and it is worth 1 credit for Basic Flight Topic 1, 1 credit for Basic Flight Topic 2, 1 credit for Basic Flight Topic 3. Guess what's left? The knowledge credits, 1, 2, and 3. Folks, that's a complete phase. You've just passed your private pilot check ride, and you can get Basic Wings phase knocked out as a result in one shot. All you got to know is this catalog number right here, and if in the back of the room it says A071102-02. You don't have to memorize that. What you have to memorize is how to find this. Fair enough? I don't need a fish. I need to know how to fish. That's kind of what I'm distinguishing here. But I do provide some of these catalog numbers near the end of the presentation. The catalog number gets you the success, and that's why I put it in green letters there at the bottom of this particular slide. You're going to need to know that number in order to make the proper credit request. This is the second result in that search for private pilot credit packages. And this is the 141 result. If you train at a formal school, a Part 141 pilot school, this is the result that might apply to you. Why did they split it up? I'm glad you asked. It so happens that in the 141 world, you could have a separate ground school that's certified, and you could have a separate flight course. A ground course and a flight course could be certified separately. And so they break it up into achievable modules. I have worked as a principal ops inspector for pilot schools that had a 141 certificate that only offered the ground school. They didn't offer the formal flying part of the certification. So in recognition of that, they split it up. But guess what? Look at the credits that are available. They're the same exact credits. In other words, it's a two-step process at the 141 level. Two-step process, but it's the same exact credits as you would expect because it's private. And again, you can earn all the knowledge credits by completing the private pilot ground school under Part 141 and all of the flight credits by achieving by passing the check ride. All there. Nice. I love credit packages. They're very efficient. They're very efficient. If you're ripping through ratings in a flight training environment, this is a great way to go. This is how you build wings phases very, very quickly, and they can correspond to your training progress. You have to know the activity numbers. Once you have identified an activity number, you set it up for credit request, just like we demonstrated earlier. And once you get that done, you hit the button, Request Credit. You request a credit validator the same way we saw earlier. All you got to do is get the catalog number right. And again, your instructor or the person you selected as the validator would get the email, and then when he logs in, that red flag sweeps across his display, and it draws his attention to it. Works exactly the same way. Here are some select Wings credit packages. Initial certification as a private pilot. Initial certification for your instrument rating. You can take an instrument rating practical test and get your wings phase knocked out. Just like as we saw with the private pilot level, there's a generic one, Part 61, and a Part 141 example, but it's a two-step process, just like we saw, but it gives the same exact credits. An instrument proficiency check is a wings credit package. You saw that I had actually earned a wings credit package that way. It's split up in several places. Initial certification as a commercial pilot. Again, there's a 61 version and a 141 version, which is 2 steps. Same exact credits. If you're a commercial pilot, airplane single engine land, and you add a commercial add-on, commercial airplane multi-engine land, there's a wings credit package for that. Cool. I mean, I don't have to go individual knowledge credits and individual, no. Not when you're doing it this way, not when you're doing it through certification. Use the wings credit packages, my friend. That is the way to get your wings phases. It's much more pleasurable experience because you get this is wholesale wings credits as opposed to retail. I'm not done yet. There's more, lots more. There's a ton of stuff in the catalog once you know how to find it. Initial certification for the ATP. Oh my gosh, the mother lode of wings credits in a single package. Flight instructor, same thing, including renewal. I had a guy ask me after my second presentation, he said, Bob, I deal with CFI add-ons. I have students come to me, they are CFI airplane single engine. They come to me as a II add-on, flight instructor instrument. Can I do this for them? And I said, yeah, you can, because adding a flight instructor rating renews an existing flight instructor certificate. It sets the clock back to 0 again, and this full credit package is available. I caution you though, flight instructor renewal for wings credit has to be done as a practical test. For all that credit, it has to be done as a practical test. You can do it as a FERC. There's a credit package for FERC as well, but there's no flight credits in a FERC, a flight instructor refresher course. Okay, I'm getting down near the end, and I hope you guys had some questions. The key thing is that you use the desired keyword in your search. You go to the activities, set the filter as the keyword, and then start your search on that. I would like for you to write down if you're an instructor or if you're working on particular ratings, I want you to write down some of these numbers as you come across them, and I put some of the more popular ones in the presentation so you don't have to go look for them. All right, validating a credit package, the basic steps are the applicant, the student, first has to pass a practical test or the equivalent to complete the event. This is all after the fact. Then he requests validation of that activity to you as the validator, or if you are the student passing the check ride, you make the credit request to your instructor. The flight instructor, or whoever's doing the validating, they approve the requested credit, then they endorse the student's logbook, and they make the appropriate entry in their own flight instructor record, 61-189. And what's the last step you would think that the flight instructor would do? There's one more step, really important. We just touched on it a minute ago. Remember this part? Remember the money part? Submit a sweepstakes entry. Submit a sweepstakes. Don't forget to do that because you might find yourself on the receiving end of a $1,500 check. You're not going to win any money if you don't enter the sweepstakes. Okay. These are some of the catalog numbers, and if you were taking photographs, this is what you want to photograph. These are the catalog numbers of some of the very popular wings credit packages. And man, is this creating a buzz. I didn't invent this. Somebody really smart put all this together on the Wings website, and I am pushing it hard, especially in the flight training environments. And Orlando is a big one, a really big one. Everybody get a picture of that wanted a picture? I'll leave it up there for just a second. Get your cameras ready because there's more. There we go, there's some more. Flight instructor renewal via a practical test is eligible for a Wings credit package. Those are the catalog numbers. You have to know the catalog numbers to make an intelligent request. That's why I put the catalog numbers there. Okay, what did we look at? I believe that flight instructors should already be familiar with FAASTeam.gov. Many of them don't even know how to spell wings. I'm sad to say. A lot of them don't give it the time of day. That's why the money incentive was added in there, was to generate interest. All right, if you know a flight instructor that doesn't know about wings or doesn't want to participate, turn them on to me. I have my contact information at the end of the presentation. There are various professional and financial incentives to participate, including the wing sweepstakes, which is real live money up to $1,500. Not bad. There's credit packages available that limits the liability exposure of a flight instructor. Okay. All right. That's the way to stay a good pilot. Practice, practice. Vince Lombardi said to the 1966 Green Bay Packers, they were the worst team in the league. Along came this guy named Vince Lombardi, and he said to his Packers, he said, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, and there's a world of difference. Okay, that's me, that's my business card. If you want to, take a photograph of that, and you're able to contact me at any point. I will send these slides out to all of those who registered for Wings credit. If you came in a little bit late, that's okay. If you want Wings credit for today's presentation, please sign up on the clipboard over here by the water station, and I'll make sure that you get Wings credit, Basic Knowledge Topic 3. 1 brick today. I'm not giving a whole package, okay? Sorry, now you know what packages are. I'm not covering all of that today, but I am going to give you guys Basic Knowledge Topic 3, 1 brick to build your house. Okay. All right. That's a little bit different. We're doing a Wings Challenge at the Orlando FSDO, and that's also generating quite a buzz. That's my presentation, folks. Thank you so much for coming. Glad you're here.